Well, my name's Isaiah. People call me Zay or Zay Bay. I've been playing online video games for about, I say, a few years. I started on Apex and then switched over to Valorant. I think that the stereotypes towards women in this game, or games, I should say, is that like racist joke. I mean, not sexist jokes and such stuff like that. I think what may be motivation behind it is that one, we're hot behind the screen, and two, I think it's very popularized in society that we should talk bad about each other, and it just and women are, I would say, sometimes can be very emotional, guys too, but I think they do it more for a reaction. A way I think we could deal with this is showing love to each other. Practicing standards, principles, showing love to one another, just being kind to each other. Instead of showing hate, animosity, that could be a huge way to deal with this. I recommend that's my recommendation. Now, the way video games can reduce some of the sexism is putting in some filters or maybe like that, which Valorant has done, I believe. Put some filters in, a rating system, or just give them a severe punishment. But even so, they they need to give them an exact reason, a good reason at that, because some people think that these reasons are absolutely terrible. And so we need to have a conversation with those people, and we need to get them to understand, that this is not okay. And they know it's not okay. And that's the problem. But I think we should have conversations with one another, definitely. And I believe they see it as harmless, not harmful at all. And people are just taking too much offense to it. But mainly, I believe they're doing it for a reaction. What lesson or advice would I give? I would give we all be kind and loving towards one another. Even though we get on each other's nerves sometimes, or we might irritate one another, we should go back to each other and say, I love you. You're like a brother to me. You're like a sister to me. You're like a mother to me. You're like a father to me. And we shouldn't judge each other, but instead convict each other on what we've done wrong or right. We should choose what we say before we do it, and think before we act, and not act on impulses or on instinct, because that leads to chaos and destruction. I believe that we need to implement this into society as well, because it's not happening just on video games though. It's happening in the real world, and this is a problem, and it needs to be fixed. Anyways, I'm Isaiah Wells. This is my interview, and I hope you all have a blessed day.
My name's Kai. I've been playing since 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. I play a lot of games, but Valorant, Call of Duty, Mobile, and Mobile Legends are the games that I play often. Um, the stereotypes towards women in games that I know. There's a lot actually. One is that some people tend to think that women are weaker in terms of playing because there's this mindset or like mentality that women are emotionally fragile, which is not true because I think it depends on their personality. Some women are emotionally stronger than men, and vice versa. And most games online are intense and fast paced. They think women wouldn't be able to keep up. Additionally, it has been normalized. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but like it has been stereotyped that most video games are only for men because there are fewer female players in the gaming scene. I'd say that it can be rooted to misogyny because like some players tend to think women are generally weaker in all aspects. I have experienced sexism in games, and what I do is that I just mute them the whole game and then I report their accounts. I wouldn't say that this is the best action to do if players encounter sexism in games, but like arguing with sexist players is just a waste of time since there's no point at all talking to misogynistic people. But it's best to call out such behavior. And it would be better for companies to raise awareness about sexism in games so that players would be discouraged to make offensive actions like being sexist towards other players. As for players, what they can do is that they can call out such behavior. accept differences and be patient. I mean, not all players can play that well. Just because players doesn't play that well doesn't give you the pass or permission to be sexist.
I'm Sam Jang and I've been playing 12 years. Play MOBA, strategy, and shooting games. I tried playing Dota 2, played CSGO, I played Rules of Survival in like mobile games. Then I'm playing Valorant right now. From what I heard, stereotypes about women in games are they're always wearing pink and like their sims or like their character, and they're always really weak support players basically, which has the lowest defense in all games. And then they always look for a stronger player, which is males basically, from what I heard. From my point of view, since I've been playing for 12 years, I think they're just doing sexism stuff because of their alpha male mentality. What I mean by that is like by watching Andrew Tate, like teaching them to be more masculine towards women, because since women are like thinking that they're equal as us males. So I think they're trying to like make their point of view into like reality where males are more higher than women. So that's what I think about that. Especially in video games, since males think that their reflex is faster than women. I mostly trash talk them, but if I'm with a female friend and I just try to like tell my female friend to mute them or something, and then I'm the one who's gonna do all of the shit talking, sometimes they're just toxic for their content. Sometimes, like, especially like streamers, they just want like a content and they just want to show like other people that content and they want to be like funny. I think they're trying to be funny. Being toxic for them is being funny because some people support toxicity in games. Especially in TikTok, you see a lot of like female streamers being attacked by a lot of like male gamers. I don't think they can reduce sexism in video games. It's not just the companies, it's also the players. Almost every video games you can see right now is that, like, for example, role-playing games. Role-playing games, the armors of like the female characters in there is mostly sexual. So I don't think they're trying to reduce it. I think they're like trying to promote it. Basically, the history of games, they usually put the female characters into like a girly fashion, especially Mario. If you can see, Mario is trying to save Princess Peach, right? And she's wearing like pink and stuff like that. It's mostly like they're trying to like promote that female or like female characters are useless. That's what I'm trying to say. And then for players, I think that they're just doing it for content or they're just satisfied. So they can't really reduce sexism in video games. For example, Valorant. If you are a female playing Valorant and you're in a solo queue or like you're playing alone and you like randomly pick the party, right? Sometimes it's a 50-50. There's a 50-50 chance that the players there is going to be sexist or like thirsty, but it's almost the same thing. So, yeah, it depends on what games or who you are with.
My name's Misty. I play Roblox, obviously, and then I also play Black Ops 3, Minecraft with friends, and CSGO, and then I'm gonna start playing Valorant soon. What are the stereotypes towards women? Honestly, just getting carried by the guy. Mainly, like a lot of guys, they be sexist or toxic towards women. They just like to get cocky or they think they're funny online because they have nothing else to do with their life and they think they're hilarious doing it. But most of them don't really do it in person because wait, I could curse in here, right? Oh, okay. So yeah, like they're all like pussies, you know. How do you deal with sexist people in video games? I just ignore them. As I said, it's in video games, so everything you do will be online, meaning you could just mute them pretty easily. That's like the best way you could do dealing with them. If it's taking it too far, you can always just report them. That's like the second best way to deal with them. What do you think the companies and or players can do to reduce sexism in video games? Just make their security way better than it already is. Like for example, some games like Roblox or Minecraft, like in chat they have where curse words are censored, and that's a way Because a lot of sexist words, they're pretty much censored, I'd say. Can't really give too much good advice because like I've never been put through it or I've never met someone who has been put through sexism. Like I've seen it happen, but like as a joke, obviously, but like not really like a bullying type of way. So I can't really give lessons on it, but just don't be a dick, honestly. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Don't be a dick.
Jam's my nickname. I'm 18 years old. I've been playing video games since I was 5. I started with GTA, then my cousins introduced me to Dota. I played it for 3 years, then transitioned to League of Legends. Probably after 6 years of playing League, I stopped for a while, then started to play again just last year, around November. Currently, I play League again, Valorant, other shooting games. I think the stereotypes towards women in gaming is that they can't play well for some reason. A lot of guys say that to women. Probably, well, I mean, mostly when underperforming or just because they feel like being toxic. I think players can be toxic to women when it comes to gaming because of, as I've said before, how male dominant the gaming community is. So I think as far as I know, most guys play video games as a hobby or let's say professionally, like tournaments. And I feel like there's not enough recognition to women when it comes to gaming. So that's probably a reason to give players or guys the urge to say something toxic towards women. So I don't really receive anything sexist towards me, but to be completely honest, I don't really react when I hear something sexist or toxic towards others because I think that it will urge the toxic players to do it more if you told them to like stop or shut them up. I don't recommend binding toxic players too much. Maybe you can just tell them once to like stop, or if not, then just probably mute them or leave the game if you can handle it. I think companies can do better by tracking toxicity through chats or even voice chats. And I think it would be like better if they would be able to track it like automatically, even without the report of players. And I think that all players should just actually like be respectful, regardless of gender, and just have fun playing because that's actually the purpose of playing video games. And advice I would give to toxic players is just to like, stop. I think many people are quitting gaming since they can handle the toxicity. I think a better plan would be like, encourage other people or women playing video games. And I think a good start would be like stop being toxic and make the gaming community bigger and diverse.
I'm Dar. I've been playing for 8 years, mostly competitive games like Valorant and League of Legends. The most common and popular one I would say is women are only supposed to play support because they can carry the game. This is based from what I've experienced throughout the years of playing mostly League of Legends and Valorant. Well, two main things are power trip and men just trying to make themselves feel better after having a bad day. Other people just show prejudice or discriminate towards women just for fun. How do you deal with sexist people? I would just mute them. And this is also my recommendation to other people. Having a pointless argument with arrogant and stubborn people on video games honestly won't change anything, but to just encourage them into doing it further because you or they are giving them attention. The companies should have stricter policies or innovate the software's capability to detect those discriminatory or prejudiced words from voice and message chats. Be less lenient or give players less chances when it comes to having punishments, like the usual 2 chat restrictions and then having a temporary ban afterwards and then permanent ban. They should like just give the players a single chat restriction and then straight temporary or permanent ban